Al-Ihsan Foundation is a charity organisation formally established in 2014 with the key motivation to provide relief and support to all individuals and families in need and to respond rapidly to every cry of help. With the blessings and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Ihsan Foundation has flourished since its establishment. Located in Sydney, Australia, we are determined to connect people who want to help with people who require help all over the world. Al-Ihsan Foundation has a 100% donation policy, which means you get to specify where your money goes by selecting the project you want to support, and 100% of your donation is used on that project. In the past year, Al-Ihsan Foundation has succeeded in opening all its relief projects and campaigns with great ambitions to expand our projects in the future. Al-Ihsan Foundation has established the following initiatives as ongoing projects in 10 different countries: emergency relief efforts, food appeals, orphan support, disability appeal, and refugee support.
In 2015, Al-Ihsan Foundation was one of the first to travel to Fiji and provide aid to the survivors of the tropical cyclone Winston. As a Category 5 vicious force, Cyclone Winston sustained winds of up to 250 km an hour over the island of Fiji, inflicting extensive damage to many islands, affecting over 350,000 people. The Al-Ihsan team purchased and distributed relief supplies to many of the affected communities. We provided things like flour, rice, sugar and other essentials to all the families and individuals in the affected areas, regardless of religion, gender or political views.
Alhamdulillah, another day out in Fiji. Alhamdulillah, we gave out some parcels out here to the Muslims and also to the non-Muslim families that are around. Many people are telling us different stories. We had one lady explaining how she was under the bed. Her roof actually flew off and water was all over inside the house, and they were actually underneath their bed, and they said they were actually flooded. The whole house became flooded, subhanAllah. The house here, the tree actually fell on top of the roof, and I'll show you inside so I can just walk you through and show you what it is or what happened. Actually the damage is very severe in this place here, as you can see. Walking through, there's no roof all the way coming in. This was their living room, again no roof. They've got 2 bedrooms in here. As you can see, this is everything they possess. I'm pretty sure many of us wouldn't want to live in such a situation, but this is the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're patient, they're thanking Allah. Also there's a kitchen in here. No roof, no windows, and through to another bedroom. And again you can see there's no roof.
When people are in bad health, it's hard to do anything like work, study or care for their families. Al-Ihsan Foundation donors contribute to provide many things such as wheelchairs, crutches and walking sticks amongst other aids to those people who need that assistance. We also sponsor special needs schools such as schools in Karawang province of Indonesia, which focuses on autistic children.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Alhamdulillah, it's day 4 here in Indonesia, and alhamdulillah today or this morning we're going to be handing out and delivering 28 wheelchairs to the disfortunate and the crippled people that are here in Indonesia. So again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number 1 for bringing us here, and number 2 we thank you all for your donations. Jazakumullah.
The ongoing conflict in Syria has produced one of the largest and most critical humanitarian crises in the century. Over 6 million Syrian civilians have fled their home to find safety elsewhere. However, what they seek isn't always what they find. More than half are struggling, living in shelters and poorly constructed tents without adequate clothing or protection from the cold. Al-Ihsan Foundation was there to dispatch over 120 tons of basic necessities such as rice, flour, lentils, baby formula, water and more to the suffering refugees as well as those civilians still inside Syria who were unable to escape. The aid was delivered to those areas under siege inside Syria and to fleeing refugees in neighbouring countries such as Turkey and Lebanon.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جمعية الشام لرعاية الأيتام تشكر الأخوة في منظمة الإحسان لتقديمهم 4 سيارات مليئة بالمواد الغذائية مقدمة للأيتام في سوريا. ستدخل اليوم 1/12/2016 ستدخل هذه السيارات إلى الداخل السوري إلى الأيتام في سوريا. جزاكم الله خيرا.
With the will of Allah and the support of the community, we delivered nutritional food to over 65,000 hungry people in Turkey and Indonesia throughout the month of Ramadan, and during Qurban we delivered food rations to countries like Lebanon, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Our workers provide iftar daily to all the needy who would otherwise have very little or nothing to break their fast on. Al-Ihsan Foundation has also initiated the Feed the Needy campaign, which attempts to alleviate hunger on a global scale. We deliver food rations and basic necessities to individuals and communities in need around the world.
The care and well-being of every orphan is of the utmost importance to Al-Ihsan Foundation. This is because we understand the value that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed on caring for such children and the resulting reward involved. The reason for this is because nobody can really know or understand the pain of a needy orphan except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, if we look close enough, if we look into their eyes, we'll perhaps see a glimpse of what they've been through. There are millions of orphans all around the world who have nothing. They may not have even the basic necessities that our children overlook. And as for so many who have come from a war-torn country, they would have witnessed the unthinkable, subhanallah. Children, some as young as the age of 5 years old or even younger, having to worry about their next meal or how they will obtain a blanket or even winter clothing. How many orphans are guardians to their siblings while they can barely look after themselves? Remember what your Messenger ﷺ said, I and the one who sponsors an orphan will be like this in paradise. The family that we're about to visit at the moment now, the husband or the father of the household, he passed away not long ago, about a week ago. And the lady, she's in her iddah at the moment now, and she's got special needs children. As you can see, the area that she's living in, just turn around, have a look around. And it's not the nicest place, also there's a lot of mud outside. We're about just getting permission to go inside, inshallah. As I mentioned, her husband, the lady's husband, passed away about a week ago, and the special needs children, and this is some of the situations that people go through. It's very hard for us sometimes to pick and choose who we're going to help. We're limited in funds, but we try our best, inshallah.
كم أخ عندك؟ 4. أنت أكبر شيء؟ وأبوك وين أبوك؟ تفضلوا. شلون توفى؟ مريض يعني؟ إيش هو؟ الله يرحمه. أنتم مين اللي يصرف عليكم؟ مع مين ساكنين؟ شلون تاكلوا؟
في عندنا واحد كبير شوي يعني نحن.
أنت شو اسمك؟ فاطمة. وأنت شو اسمك؟ عائشة. أما هذه لا تتكلم ولا تسمع.
At Al-Ihsan Foundation, we understand the value of every orphan. We set out to make their lives easier and more pleasant. We'll do our best to ease their pains by relieving them of some of their burdens. We can never replace the loss of their parents, but we certainly will not forsake them. Al-Ihsan Foundation intends on providing every struggling orphan with relief. We'll help by providing them with food, with clothing, blankets, shelter, education, in-house healthcare, and much, much more. Help us help the struggling orphans around the world.
Now you've seen what we do. The question that remains is, what will you do? At Al-Ihsan Foundation, we appreciate all our donors, sponsors, and volunteers, as do the hundreds of thousands of recipients around the world.